it has varying meanings to it, right? And so we got to keep that in mind as we reflect on that proverb.
Yeah, I just think, once again, thinking about context, our family, originated in the South. And once again, their goal was that their men would make it home safe, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And so I think sometimes the context presented itself, as much as you want to go off on uncle and his different names from different places, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we know who we're referring to, right? As much as you want to go off on so-and-so, right?
Mm-hmm.
D. Whitman, or the white man, right?
There you go. Mm-hmm.
It's better for you to say, there he go, meaning you make it home, than there he lie.
Mm-hmm.
You've been lynched. You see what I'm saying?
There you go.
So that's the context for that proverb, right?
Right.
Your job is to make it home safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
But in that same breath, those people had to know what kind of things would get a person lynched too, and teach them what to do and what not to do,
True. You would definitely need to know, but again, in our situations, the way that I was raised, more was caught than taught. It was put in front of me, but the expectation that if I paid enough attention to it, attention being the key word, that somehow I would grasp and know that there were certain do's and don'ts that or norms that I had to confirm, regardless of whether I agreed with them or not. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
there you go.
What made me different is that I grew up north. So every time I went down south, somebody had to sit me down and tell me what I could and what I could not do.
Mm-hmm.
I was reminded of it when you were talking about it. It's better to say there he or we go than there where he lay. I remember my dad had violated the quarter tank rule. Going down south, you always made sure you kept at least a quarter of a tank of gas between your ways of stopping, just in case, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he violated the quarter tank rule, and we were somewhere between Nashville and Huntsville, Tennessee, Huntsville, Alabama. And so as we were making our way toward home, we ended up having to get off the highway and drive a few miles up into the mountains to try to find a gas station, which we were successful doing. But we had got off the beaten path. And so my dad got out the car and he told us to stay in the car. Now, y'all, if you travel with anybody black over any type of road trip, when the car stops, you get out and you try to use the bathroom, whether you got to or not.
There you go. Because you don't know when it's going to stop again.
You don't know when it's going to stop again. And so my dad, the first thing that caught my attention, he told us to stay in the car. Right? And so my dad gets out of the car, but he doesn't even make it into the gas station because this would be pre-credit card time. And so he's talking to a white man who's at another pump. And I can't hear what they're saying, but whatever it was, my dad cut the gas pump on because, back then the tank was in the back. He flipped the license plate down, put a few dollars in the tank, put the cap back on, shook the man's hand, got in the car, and we left. And I said, but I got to use the bathroom, right? And my dad didn't say nothing. And we got down the road about a half a mile. I said, but I got to use the bathroom. My mother told me to shut up because I don't know the look that my dad gave my mother, but whatever that look was, they knew what happened. As we got back on the highway and made it further down the road, my father told me and my brother that the gentleman at the gas pump was in the KKK.
Wow.
Now, I didn't understand, but I said, but Dad, if he was in the KKK, why did he let you get the gas? Because I didn't see you go in and pay for it. He said, I didn't. He paid for it. I said, no, I'm really confused now. The KKK down here must be different than the KKK I learned about. Well, my dad then told me, yeah, he in the Ku Klux Klan, but he also was a Mason. And I'm a Mason. And my dad said he hit him with the Mason grand hell. And the dude took care of the gas and told him, put this $10 in his gas tank and get the hell out of here and don't never come back. Now, the idea of it for me is that my father knew enough about Tennessee and Alabama, growing up in Alabama and Mississippi, that he took that man for his word. And that it was more important for him to spare his family the idea of my father being buried or my mother having to drive us the rest of the way than to try to push back or anything else. He left. So it is better to say, there he go, than there he lay.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, and I appreciate you and Ty bringing that to the fore, right? Is because, you know, as you know, my mom grew up and was born in the South, and I have to believe that that was a part of the lesson, thinking about what the experience was in the South versus what the experience was in the North, and recognizing that the goal is always to live to the next day. And so she told us a story about her dad who owed somebody something when they were in Mississippi, and he actually put his family on the bus so that they can go up north. He stayed back to pay the debt, and then as soon as he paid the debt, he got himself on the bus and he moved up north also. So I have to believe that part of that was, you know, hey, I'm gonna pay this debt and I'm gonna get out of here so that I can provide a better opportunity for my children and for my family.
And many times what happens to us is that we believe that we are so far removed from that time that we're not talking about the lessons we're talking about people that are still with us to this day, who are sharing with us this wisdom, these proverbs, that this stuff is real. And that although it may be covered more, or now based on our president and some of the things that happen that are uncovered more, you don't have to cover it no more. You can just be blatant.
Yeah, and you know, we got to keep that. We just got to keep that. We just got to keep that dialogue going, right? And making sure that other people understand that, you know, again, all of these things and these proverbs are contextual.
Absolutely. They definitely are contextual. And with that, y'all, we're going to take our first break, but we'll be back on the front porch. Stick with us.
What time is it?
Bedtime.
My wife never gets home in time to see little man go to sleep. Her bus stop is a mile away. I wish I could at least walk home with her. I'm completing the 2020 census for my family. My response can impact how public funding is spent in my community. That could mean education for little man and a closer bus stop for her. Hey.
Hey.
Shape your future. Start here. Complete the census at 2020census.gov.
And we're back, folks. Welcome to the Front Porch, y'all, as we've been talking a little bit about hindsight from this proverb that Sylvester Mom dropped on us when she said, it is better to say there he goes than to say there he lays. And with that being said, we want to move from hindsight into insight. What does this say to us right now in the world and in the time in which we live? Come on, Sylvester, start us off.
You know, you know, one of the lessons that I learned some time ago is history will always repeat itself. And so as we're in this time when so many African-American males have been, and I'm gonna say killed by police officers, you know, one of the things that we find ourselves doing, those of us who have sons, is talking to them. If you get pulled over or if you have an encounter with the police, don't worry about, you know, saving face or working out whether you were right or wrong. Just keep yourself safe so that you can get back home. And so in today's economy, we're still in this space where we're talking to people about making a good decision, no matter how uncomfortable it might be, so that you can get back home. Better to say, there he go, than there he lay. Because none of us want to be in a position where we're going and viewing our loved ones because they didn't make the right decision in a difficult moment.
Well, it's all about survival.